Chris Adamski, Steelers beat reporter, previewing Steelers Week 2 matchup. And you hate to use too much hyperbole when you're talking about, again, it being Week 2 and it's September, early mid-September. But this is a game that could go a long way in deciding potentially the AFC North, Steelers and Bengals. We know one thing for sure, whether the Steelers want to admit it or not, and there still is reason to believe, especially for their more veteran players, that Baltimore is their true rival. Make no mistake, Pittsburgh week means a lot to Cincinnati and to the Bengals. And this is a chance for the Bengals to come to Pittsburgh, to come to Heinz Field, take an early lead in the division by a game. You have the early tiebreaker then, and of course the division tiebreaker comes into play at some point, and you make then pretty much the Steelers have to come to Paul Brown Stadium and win that game later in the season. Potentially, again, it's still very, very early, to be able to win the AFC North. And as you saw with the Steelers last year, you play that extra game, you get somebody hurt, and much more of an impediment to make the Super Bowl. So make no mistake, even though this is mid-September and there's still a lot of guys not playing, of course, Le'Veon Bell still suspended, Vontaze Burfict, you might have heard of him not suspended. It still is a big game for the context of the Steelers this season. Andy Dalton had a good Week 1 performance, but in all reality, you got to be impressed with the Steelers' offense in Week 1 and what they're able to do with all the names they're missing. And if you thought going into the season the Steelers were going to have one of the best offenses in the league, I'm sure you surely left Monday night believing the same thing, and probably even more so. So, early season test for the Steelers, and really who has the very early control of the AFC North to be decided on Sunday. My prediction for the game, sorry Pittsburgh fans, but I think the Bengals win it. They seem to have the Steelers number, particularly at Heinz Field, or at Heinz Field. I said not overall they've had the Steelers number. They have the Steelers number at Heinz Field over the past few years. I think, judging by both teams last week, I think you're going to see a shootout again. We see a lot of those this year with the Steelers, I think. I think it'll be Bengals 31, Steelers 28.